In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to deal with sinuses. The first thing we're going to do is set us up for success. We do that by running energy into the occiput at the back of the skull. While it may not be an obvious place to start, I actually start all of my energy healing sessions by running energy into the occiput. Running energy into the occiput helps to establish a baseline from which the rest of the session can progress. If you watched my earlier video on how to work on headaches, linked up above here, you'll note that we ran energy into the occiput there too. And if you don't yet know how to run energy, go watch this video and then come straight back here. Next, we're going to run energy into the sacrum. As you can see in the diagram here, the skull and spine have complementary compensations due to the curvature. Each vertebra has a complementary partner at a different location in the body. After running energy into the sacrum for a couple of minutes, let's move back up top to what is probably the least likely understood, yet most effective target for unlocking our sinuses. The second cervical vertebra, C2, also known as the axis. We're going to use a 3 or 4 fingered tripod or pinch shape to focus the energy that we express from the inner Laogong palm chakra point. In Zero-Point QiGong, we think of the fingers as acting as a sort of lens for the energy we're releasing from inner Laogong. As with the other spots, spend a good 2 or 3 minutes running energy into C2. Alternatively, if you get a sense of completion, feel free to move onward. To address the spinal compensation of C2, we're now going to run energy into L4, the 4th lumbar vertebra. Remember that the idea of compensation is that when we change the balance high, we need to likewise make a complementary adjustment down low. Run energy into L4 for a couple of minutes or until you get a sense of completion. Once we've done the occiput, sacrum, C2, and L4 locations, we'll continue activating our secret weapons by running energy into the sphenoid bone. The sphenoid runs laterally across the forward part of the skull in the area of the orbits. With hands-on healing, we access this bone in the depression immediately behind the orbital ridge on the side of the skull. If your fingers are resting in the soft depression and are touching the orbital ridge, you're right on target. We're going to run energy into the sphenoid for, you guessed it, 2 to 3 minutes or until we get a sense of completion. And at this point, the person on which you're working may already start to experience changes in the sinus area. When we work on the sphenoid and the C2 vertebra, there can be significant spontaneous drainage of congested sinuses. Now, if I'm 100% honest about this, I don't really know why this is the case, but I'll offer an educated guess that the nerves associated with the sinuses are affected by adjustments to the sphenoid and C2 vertebra. It is, however, just a guess. But wait, we're not quite done. With the sphenoid adjusted, we need to address our compensation. So we're going to run energy into the tailbone. By now you're already thinking of 2 to 3 minutes or until a sense of completion. Good. Okay, so with all that done, we're ready to work on the face directly. We're going to run energy into the 4 major sinus cavities. I personally prefer using a very light tripod touch here, as before using the fingertips to focus the energy we're expressing from the inner Laogong point. I tend to work all the way around the eye sockets. I like to address any adjacent inflammation in the areas surrounding the sinuses proper. As usual, we spend a few minutes in each spot, and we're not finished with the secret weapons though. We're going to steal from acupressure and acupuncture and run energy into 3 points on either side of the face, starting with B2, which is just on the bottom of the eyebrow ridge and slightly outward from the nose. You'll know you found B2 when you press it and it hurts a little. It's a so-called trigger point, and as such, the nerve plexus is sensitive to pressure. We're going to run energy into the B2 point on both orbital ridge lines. You know the drill. 2 to 3 minutes should be just fine. You can also spend some time massaging these points with circular motions. I personally like to use counter rotations on each point. In other words, if I'm massaging in a clockwise pattern on one ridge, I'll use a counterclockwise rotation on the other. Next, we move to the Li20 point just at the indentation to the outside of the nasal opening. Run energy into these points in the same fashion as usual. And if you happen to be running energy while watching this video, please remember to breathe and to match the intake of universal life force energy with your inhalations and to express energy into the point on each exhalation. As with B2, we can massage the Li20 points. Okay, so let's move on to ST3. This point can be found at the depression between the lower cheekbone and the upper ridge of the gums. As per usual, we'll run energy into this point for 2 to 3 minutes and optionally massage the points in opposing circular directions. If you'd like to book energy healing sessions with me, click the link to the Living Intentionally website in the description and buy one of the packages that meets your needs. We have bundles up to 10 hours to accommodate your healing journey. In addition to booking in-person or distant energy healing sessions, these bundles can be used for one-on-one instruction. Now hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. And to learn how to use energy healing to improve your eyesight, click the video here.